At that time, the lead search pastor was Pastor Bob, and he had been fighting a battle with cancer. He had reached a point where he felt it was time for him to step aside. He is actually the one who searched out for Vanderbloemen.
Vanderbloemen sent and selected Brian Dunce to come. And when we met Brian, our spirits just came together in unity, meaning that, this is a former minister also. This organization is practicing what they preach. This is truly, an organization that is focused on supporting local churches and their staffing challenges that they have. And from day one, Brian's support for us has been unwavering.
As we got to know the Vanderbloemen process, one of the things that impressed me was the fact that before you folks started doing anything, you spent much time and energy and resources to get to know the DNA of this body of believers.
He was very focused on hearing all of the opinions of our congregation. We brought in, if I remember, 4, it could have been 5 leadership groups. He gave them whatever time they needed to speak with him.
I could see his mind just going as he's running his notes and he's asking leading questions. And I said, I bet this is going to be a better process.
Then he took that data and went back and did an analysis of who we are, our DNA, and a comparative analysis of pastor salaries and all of these things associated with going through a succession process. He gave us some parameters we had to meet, and then we realized that let's go to work.
We had a candidate and his wife that we thought we would like to bring in. Once they arrived here, we thought, what a lovely couple. Nope, they will not be a fit for this particular church. We fine-tuned our requirements just a little bit tighter. And for us, for this particular church, it was very important that we had a candidate who believed very strongly in the Baptist faith and message, year 2000, enhanced year 2023. And while that doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of churches, for this particular church, it meant a lot.
We sent that information to Brian. He accepted it and refined his interview process, the vetting process. And he selected 5 additional candidates, and we ended up with 12. Pastor Allen was the candidate.
I've been a seminary professor for 23 and a half years, and I felt like the next step at the latter stages of my ministry is return to full-time pastorate, and I was looking for a place to be a full-time pastor and still be able to teach adjunctively. And one of the things that drew me here is Marion County, Florida is one of the fastest growing places in the United States. So it's an opportunity to win a lot of people to Christ.
What I found and what I heard was a man who had such a deep desire to reach the unreached, to present the gospel to the little children, to the old folks, and everyone in between. His passion came through, and that was the first thing that really attracted me to Pastor Allen.
They were also very frank that they wanted to become a church that was multi-generational, but they are not now. So the average age on a Sunday morning, they said, was 77. So we stepped out in faith and said, we're going to have Vacation Bible School where we had no children. We had over 80 people volunteer to work in the Vacation Bible School. We already have 33 kids signed up. And we've had a couple of other families with children start attending. So I think we're going to be able to accomplish the task of reaching the senior adults that retire here, but also become multi-generational. And so we've made some really good steps towards that. We have a candidate for a director of children's ministry that'll be brought on board within the next month or so. And we baptized, to my knowledge, the first time in the history of the church on Easter Sunday, we baptized a 9-year-old boy who'd given his life to Christ. My goal is, when my ministry is done here, to hand on a strong thriving, soul-winning evangelistic church to the next generation that continues to reach and preach the gospel in this area. It's not going to happen overnight, but over the next 10 to 12 years, we'll see what the Lord can do.
Going through Vanderbloemen, as I said, answered a whole lot of issues that we would have had doing it on our own. One, we would not have gotten 200 resumes to choose from, putting the word out there on our own.
Your process brought to us people who had already been vetted, who met the basic criteria that we were looking for, and they had been interviewed by people who do this professionally. And that's how I felt about Vanderbloemen. They were part of our lead pastor search team, and they did a great job for us. And we would have gotten there without Vanderbloemen. It would have cost us less in money, but far more in time, stress, and anxiety.